Hello, welcome to the introduction for my course on Google Earth Pro. In this course, we're going to cover a couple of very simple projects, including planning a road trip, zoning a city, and then sending our plans for that zone city and that road trip to someone else. So there's a lot of features in Google Earth that are very useful, like these two, basic concepts that I, just covered, and a ton more. You may look at it and just see, oh, this looks like a giant globe. What can I really do with it? There's a lot of things that we can do. We're going to learn about KMLs and KMZs, which are Google's specific file formats that they have for mapping points and areas inside of Google Earth, and you can send and share those with people, and they're widely used. We're going to teach you about the satellite imagery that is actually in this software and that has been archived, and how to get more current versions of that, how to see borders, how to see even Google's archived version of the moon, the stars, the solar system, and also Mars. So there's going to be some exciting content here that you may have not known about, and I am excited for you all to be here with me. So stay tuned. I will post links and files to the table of contents and everything you need for this course. So stay tuned. Happy to have you here. Okay, so in this first video of this course, I'm going to give you an introduction to how the software works and just some basic features, just a kind of an overview so that you all understand sort of where to go for certain things that we're going to look at when we're doing this course. Okay, so just to start out, when you download Google Earth Pro from their site, it's just, you're going to open it up and it's going to look exactly like this. So just going over some basic controls. If you take the mouse wheel and you scroll in, then that will zoom you down like you're falling toward Earth. And then if you move it in reverse, you're going to come back out, all the way out, as far as you can go. If you hold down the right mouse button, then you can manipulate the Earth. You can turn it, and you can kind of actually grab it and let go and sort of throw it and spin it around like this in this way that will make you pretty dizzy. So another thing you could do is if you hold down the mouse wheel like a clicker right here, you can, if you move right or left, it will give you this sort of tilting view where you're moving the Earth like this. Okay, so that's something to look at too. And if you hold down the right or the right mouse button, sorry, if you hold down the right mouse button and then you move in or out, it will zoom us in and out, but it will also give us this tilt. So once again, just left mouse button, it's kind of sort of click and grab. That's sort of our go-to control where we want to move around and look at things. And then the wheel will let us tilt, and then the left will zoom and tilt, or the right will zoom and tilt. So over here we've got in the top left hand corner just some basic functions that you're gonna have in pretty much every other piece of software right here. So just your save function, your edit function, your views like currently being shown. You just over here adding folders to keep points in, and we'll go over how to make a point here in a minute, and just your general help and documentation that's in here. In the top bar here we have our tools, so if we wanted to make a point, that's there. If you wanted to make a polygon or something that just sort of highlights a general area, line. If you wanted to add images over something, if you wanted to measure something, and then if you want to send something that you are working on it here to somebody, you can do that through this top bar. Over here, just to the left, the search bar is where you can search for generally any name of anything inside of Google Earth. So if I wanted to search for Paris, right, it would give me all these different options, and then if I clicked on it, I could just go and zoom right over to that, and you can actually, this moves really fast, and it can give you, if it's too fast for you, I'll show you a way to take this and make it move not as fast so it doesn't give you like vertigo while you're working on the software, as some people I like to slow things down a little bit. All right, so I'm going to clear that out. So over down here at places, right? So this is where you can keep different places that you want to note, right? So this could be any place mark, any polygon, anything that you've made, which are the two main items that we'll be creating, those, and also like lines. So if you want to show like a route for a road, and we would keep all that and then all the folders inside of here. So if we wanted to put a folder in here to keep a certain type of project with points, we'd put it in here. And over here, down here lower, we have our layers area. And so this is all sorts of layers. There is a ton of stuff to cover over here, but these are built in to Google Earth, and they can show you borders, places, different things like we're seeing here. Many features inside of that. Over here on the right, we have the north arrow, which just shows our how we are oriented at the time, and then this right here is Street View, and you can drop him down anywhere and you can go into Street View if it's available. It's not always available in certain places, but here is Street View of this location, and here it is. Wow, pretty cool. We'll go over that a little bit more. We also have this right here, this bar right here. You can use, if you hold down the left mouse button, you can move around, and that's pretty cool. It also gives you a grabby tool right here. It gives you this glove, which you kind of already have, so you don't really need it. This just indicates that you can move with this. And then this bar right here, it allows you to zoom in or out, and it just gives you kind of a measured way to use that, and if you don't want to use your mouse. So that's a general overview. In the next video, stay tuned. We'll get right into that. Alright, so we're going to get started with our first project where we are going to plan a road trip. Now we're going to do a very small road trip. We're not going to take a whole lot of time, but I'm going to hit on the fundamentals of how to do this really quick, and just follow along, and then you can definitely scale this out once you've learned how to do these basic fundamentals here. So what we're going to do is just use the mouse wheel to zoom in, and we're going to go over here just in Washington, but we want to figure out where we're at. So I'm going to turn on inside the layer section. You want to turn on the borders and labels so we can see where we're at. We're going to want to turn on the roads, and we can also turn on the places, because why not? And I see over here, when I tilt this down, I can see in 3D, I got this nice mountain over here. So let's say I want to take a road trip over here from Tacoma to this nice mountain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a place mark, and I'm going to make that my start button. And you could go zoom in and find your actual house, or you could search for it and pick that actual spot, but however you want to do it. And I'm just going to put start just for fun. Right, we don't really need to mess with any of this other stuff in here. These are some advanced settings, and we don't need to worry about them too much. But what I can do is give this a fun little starting thing, little icon right here. So I'm going to give it this little guy right here. Okay, so that's going to be my start. All right, and then, oh, sorry, made it throw around a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and then draw a path. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can kind of move this box out of the way because sometimes it does get in the way. We can start making a path along this highway. Now we don't have to be super exact with this, right? And we can zoom in to find the routes that we actually want to take. So if you're planning a real road trip, you're going to want to have a rough idea of like how many miles you're going to be going, right? You don't want to be completely off, but you don't need to get every single bend, in my opinion, right? It depends on how particular you want to be. So you're clicking every time to drop these points, right? If you need to like change one of these points, move it, you can kind of just adjust it like this. Just left click it and move it, right? And we're going to call this path route, right? And we made this a 5 a 5 wide width, but we could also make it like a 20 wide, right? We change the color to blue, right? So that's pretty cool. And then we're gonna just do a place mark at this mountain right here that says destination, and we're gonna put a little green star for the icon there, just for the sake of it looking kind of cool. So now that we have these 3 items, right, like our start, our destination, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a folder, right, and this is gonna be called road trip. So this road trip folder right here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all of these other items in here, right? So this is a line and 2 points that we've named, and now we have them in a folder. It's important to have them in that folder because that's the way that you actually save the KML. And the KML is the file type that you can export, so you can put it into other Google products and lots of other software, right? So we're gonna right click on the folder and we're gonna hit save place as, which is how we get to do this. So roadtrip.kmz, KML, right? We'll go over the difference of those later, but just really either or, right? So bam. So now you have your KML file of your road trip. So now that you have that, you have successfully planned out a road trip, and there's that. So in the next lessons, we're going to cover some other finer details and some other projects, including zoning a city. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Alright, in this video, we're going to do a simple project inside Google Earth Pro where we're actually going to zone a city. We're going to make like a new proposed zoning areas for a locality, right? So if in theory you had to do this, you know, because you work for a city or state government entity or, you know, whatever, you could do this. So I'm just gonna pick a random city. I'm gonna pick Nashville, Tennessee, and search and go right over there. And we are going to rezone some of Nashville, and I'm gonna make it kind of crazy. So we're actually gonna say, you know, the airport, we were thinking of tearing it down, and we were gonna put we're gonna make it residential. We want to put houses there instead. People really like this whole airstrip vibe. It's really in, the real estate's really high. Let's say that is the case, and so we're gonna basically bulldoze the airport and make it a residential zone. So it's no longer gonna be a, you know, commercial airport area. We're gonna build houses on top of the airstrip. So we're gonna go ahead and this time, you know, I'll make a folder. I'll be like new zoning proposal. We're gonna try to make this like a like something we could present to somebody and explain that they would understand. So this will be kind of cool. So we're gonna tilt this over, and we're going to take a polygon and we're gonna put that over this airfield. So we're gonna say proposed residential zone for 2020, which is right now when I'm making it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start dropping dots. So I'm going to select, starting right here, I'm going to select around this airfield. All right, I'm just going to paint the zone kind of broadly, just using these points, skim around, and you can see what I think I have by default is just white area, right? And this looks really ugly right now, so we're going to get into the style and the color. So the lines are a certain color, and then the area is a certain color with a certain transparency. So for residential, I'm going to take that, I'm going to make that like a nice like baby blue, and then I'm going to make the lines like a similar color, and then the opacity, I'm going to take it and I'm going to crank it down to be like 20% is a little bit light, so we'll do like 40%, and you can kind of see what's going on there. So I'm going to do that. What's cool to note about this too is you can actually see the measurement in here. So you could say, hey, here's our proposed zoning change, and the perimeter is 10 miles in perimeter, and it's almost it's 4.59 square miles, right? So there we go. We have that area right there. And so now obviously we have to pick a new place to put the airport. So we're gonna take another section right here, and we're gonna bulldoze all these houses, and we're gonna put the airfield over here. Actually, let's put it over here where this is like a golf course or something. So we'll put the airport over here. So we'll do another polygon, and we'll start selecting that, and we'll say we're gonna turn this into commercial. So when you finally oh, that's a path, I'm so sorry. So when you want to do a polygon, different than a path, good to point out. So when you've selected one color already, you're going to tend to have to change that. So we're going to change this over to like red. Okay, and we're going to keep the same opacity, but since red's maybe a little bit more of a intense color, we're gonna take that, and we're gonna say rename airport zone. Okay, so that's our proposed airport zone and our proposed residential zone right there. So you could do this, you could zone out every area and every capacity that you want out here. But now that you have that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this, save as. Bam. So the default comes up as KMZ. Understand that KMZ has a smaller file size, but KML is more compatible with other softwares most of the time. So you're going to want to save it as a KML the majority of the time, unless you're going strictly Google Earth to Google Earth, right? So now that we saved that KML of this new zoning proposal, we can go ahead and send that to the mayor, and then he can present that to the city council, and there we go. So that is how to do that type of project. We just made 2 polygons, and pretty simple. Hope this was helpful, and see you in the next video. So this lesson on Google Earth Pro is going to be all about KMLs and KMZs, and we're going to be really quick, and we're just going to go over the basics. So a KML or KMZ can be made of any collection of points, polygons, paths, image overlays, whatever you have. Anything that you can create with inside Google Earth, you can then export as a KML or a KMZ. So KML should be your primary item that you want to export because it's more compatible with other versions. But if you have like a really big set of data, then you could use a KMZ because it'll be better on file size. Essentially, that's the difference between the two of them. But let's say that someone has sent you a KML, right? And you want to open it. The simple way to do it is literally just double click on that and it should open up. And here we have a zoning proposal that we made in another episode of this course. So that opens right up to where it is. If you click on that and then just hit delete on your keyboard, boom, gone. Right? Same with our road trip, right? Our road trip was over in Washington, and you can see how the map just flies right over to that. So there we go. So to go over making one of these and saving one of these really quick, just to give you some more context to that, if I go ahead, I'm going to drop a point, and then I'm going to make a polygon, and then I'm going to do a path. I'm just going to make this path like that. Those are 3 items right there. And then I'm going to make a folder right here. I'm just going to add a folder, right? Now I'm going to put all these items into that because that is the only way to save your KML or KMZ. So you're going to want to right click on this untitled folder and hit save place as. And then you can save it as test 1. Bam, there you go. So now we look in our folder, there it is, right? And if we delete all this out of there and open this up, there it is. There is the KML that we just made. And if you drop this down, you'll see all of the stuff. So we can manipulate and change these items, resave it, and then send back the same KML or the same project piece that you're working on with somebody else back to them as a KML, and you can modify it right in here. You would just right click in this and be like, I want this to be a place I want to go. Alright, and then this right here will be a 5K route. That'd be a crazy 5K route. Anyhow, that's definitely way more than 5K. Anyhow, right? That would be how you do that. So that's everything you really need to know about KMLs and KMZs on a basic level. How to open them, how to close them, how to make them, how to save them. Thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to go over the measuring feature or the ruler feature inside of Google Earth Pro. We're just going to do it really quick. So I'm just going to show you the different options you have when you're using this tool. So to click it, like I just did, we're going to click on the ruler icon up here in the top, and we have several different options for how to measure, and we also have different units of measurement. So the first one that's going to be pretty clear cut is going to be line. So we're just going to see from point A to point B. That's the only option you have, point A to point B. Just click and drag and drop. And so we have all of these different, so like in miles, that's 1.5 miles, right? So path, we have this, when we change this mode, it actually allows it to, between line and path, I guess it stays about the same. No, never mind, it stays right there. Anyhow, if you want to do path, so this is, we're trying to see, this could be an entire route that we're manipulating, changing this path however we want. Right, we can see how long that path is, so that could be like a running path, right? We're going to go ahead and do polygon. So this will be perimeter and area, and we can change those to be separate. So if you want perimeter in miles and then you want the area in acres, there you go, right? Circle, you drop a point in the middle and then just pull it out, and then you can see the radius, area, and circumference, right? So 3D path, similar to a path, right? So you can measure the height and width of 3D buildings and the distance of points on buildings, from points on buildings to the ground. So we don't have any buildings in here, and these features are not super commonly used, but you can use these, and they do provide perimeter and area. So that's overall the basics of the measuring feature. And you can also see that when you make a normal path, you can see the measurement right here in this tab when you are editing the properties of that path. So when you go to properties, you can go in here and you can see that right in there. All right, so that is the basics of measuring in Google Earth Pro. Thanks for following along, and see you in the next video. All right, in this section, we're gonna go over how to print a certain view or basically a digital map of what you've made to somebody. So we're gonna figure out how to print that. We're gonna figure out how to send basically a JPEG, just an image, to somebody via email. We're also going to get into checking what we're doing against Google Maps, and that's it. So we'll just jump right into it then. I'm gonna open up a zoning proposal that we made in a previous course, and we're gonna go over to that. And so basically our task is going to be that we are trying to send this proposal to somebody in the city council so that they can decide whether or not they want to make this zoning change. So this could be any type of project ever that you want to share with somebody. But in this case, this is what it is that we're going to try to send to somebody. So over here, if you go up to this section of 4 buttons here, so we have email, print, save image, and view in Google Maps. So if we hit save image, that allows us to create this legend of sorts. Well, we have a legend here, and we have also a map title that we can make, and we have a north arrow, and we have a legend that shows how wide of an area we're looking at. And you see as we zoom out, it shows what is relative. We can also add in places, roads, right? We're gonna, because we want to know about this zoning change, we're gonna go ahead and build this out so that the city council can decide here. So we want to put in all of the things that would add to our overall product, if you will. So I'm going to say zoning change proposal. proposal 20 airport switch. So this is a 2020 airport switch. So we're switching where the airport is, and we're putting airport over here, and we're putting residential stuff over here. So we're going to try to change this legend. We're just going to hit refresh from view, and we're going to see if we can get it to line up the way that we want. So right now it looks like we have a bunch of stuff that we don't necessarily care about. So we're going to kind of remove everything from this legend because we don't want to have too much stuff that we don't want. So we're going to do a legend. We just want the proposed residential zones to show, the airport to show. We'll leave the convention center, and we'll leave, that'll be it. Okay, so we'll just do these areas right here, and we'll leave those. All right, and then actually would really kind of like it if those could slide up, but I don't think we can get them to slide up, so don't worry about that. So now we have a title here, and we have a legend. So this is something that we can actually basically take a snapshot of and take it over. So we're going to pick the resolution that we want. So currently we have this resolution, but let's just say for the sake of whatever we want, our 720 HD, right, or 4K Ultra HD, or 1080, right? So let's pick 1080. And so this shows you what it would look like in 1080. All right, so we're going to say that's the size of the TVs that they have in the city hall meetings, and this is what we want to display it on. So we want it to be a full, nice, wide display. So this is what we're going to pick, right? So with that, we have these map options. So if we want to turn off anything over here like the compass or anything like that, we can do that, right? And then the styling, we can style these to be a little bit different, right? You see how we kind of dulled this out, and actually I like this one. So this kind of dulled out the map a little bit so that it's kind of more focused on those colors there instead of giving it the colorful map. We don't really need to see all that grass, right? So in this case, we're going to save image, right? And then we're going to call this zoning change. Bam, and we just saved it as a JPEG, and it'll process it over, and you see we have it right in here. And if we pop that open, this is going to be pretty big, but you can see right here, this is something that you can very clearly see and say, oh, okay, so this red right here is a proposed airport zone for 2020, and this is a proposed residential zone. Bam, there you go. Really easy to do, really convenient. If we want to email that to somebody, so let's say we want to go ahead and do that. We're going to say, hey, we're going to send a screenshot of the current view, right? And we're just going to hit email, and then I'm not going to log into it, but if you log into these, it's basically going to be like, okay, where do you want to send it? And send it over. So that's something that's like a built-in integration to Gmail or Microsoft Outlook, so you can just, by default, start sending your stuff that you need to send over right in there. Cool. Let's go and look at print. So print is very much the same as what we just did, except for this is where you're going to be able to save like a PDF. So PDF zoning change, right? We're going to be able to save a PDF from this, just like we did, just like we made the JPEG, right? But you have to go over here to print to be able to get that to work. So super easy. It'll take a minute, and that'll turn it into a PDF for you, and good to go on that. If you go over to actually print, right, then you can really just print the view straight off the way it is right there. And there's also some other printing options and map options in here as well. Like, let's say we want to get rid of the compass. We just click that, and the compass goes away in the bottom right hand corner right there. Okay, cool. So if you toggle one of these on or off, that's how you get rid of that view. And that is the basics to seeing and sending and creating those type of products that you would actually send to somebody, so you can show them exactly what you mean. If you wanted to cross-check this with any Google Maps information, because Google Maps does in fact have different stuff than Google Earth on some level, it's basically all the same stuff, but there's some different features than like the convention center. Maybe we'll look at that convention center and we'll see some feature about this we need to maybe look at for our research that is pretty cool to have right here, that we can inside this area quickly click on Google Maps and see what's going on inside that other data source that Google has linked for us there. So very cool. I hope this is informational and this helped you out, and stay tuned for the next video in the course. In this video, we're going to go over the options section in Google Earth Pro, and we're going to just give you a brief overview of some useful things that you can use for when you're working inside of here. So one of the most useful things in here, if you're actually trying to get points on a map, changing your decimal degrees, minutes, seconds, MGRS, UTM, all these different lat-long variations, these will change the default view that you see when you drop a point and you view its properties. So let's say that we drop a point here, right? It'll show in lat-long currently, but if we change that item, then we will have that different a different option there, whatever you pick. So for a couple of these different items right here, if you change these will basically make everything maybe a little bit faster for you. Same with terrain. If you get rid of some of these like 3D imagery or high quality terrain, then you'll get quicker resolution and faster rendering. So these are just quality features in here. Okay, units of measurement, feet, miles, meters, kilometers, basically metric or standard. You can change that over. You can do your map size, you can change that, and then also your zoom relation. So cache, if you want to clear this will basically free up all of your space. Just kind of a different little feature in case it starts running slow. Try this. For touring, right here, so this kind of gives you some options to do with your tour filming, which we went over in a previous video. So this gives you just a couple different things you might want to change right here, like the speed of how fast the tour is moving, right? Let's see, navigation, fly to, right? So this is where your so if I change this from slow to fast, or my mouse wheel from slow to fast, so this is just change the scroll speed with the mouse wheel, and then the fly to is like if I search for Nashville and it moves the whole map over there when it flies over there, and it can make it slower or faster, and this is preferable because sometimes stuff is too fast and it makes people dizzy or something like that. Right over here in general, we have just language, the email program if you're for whatever you're sending, and then your error handling. But basically we just went over all of the useful items here, or the main items, really quickly. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.
Showing how to record a tour inside of Google Earth Pro. This is something that you can do if you want to show off a specific area over time, kind of if you want to do like a visual screen cap of what you're showing, like a video pretty much, as opposed to a screenshot, which we've covered in another video. You can go look at that one if you want to do a still. But for the tours, what you're going to want to do is just go up here to the top bar and just click on recorded tour, right? And then that'll pop up this bottom at this button panel at the bottom here, which gives you an option to record just this screen right here, the visual area that we can see. It will not record the sidebar, right? So we're just going to record one right now. I'm going to hit record on that, and then if I hit this mic button, then it's going to enable that as well. And so let's see, I'm going to zoom in on Indiana. I'm just going to zoom in on Indianapolis. Now any of the different layers, if I want to change them, they will be inside of the tour. Okay, so if I turn off like my places or my 3D buildings or just whatever, I've got labels on everything, and yeah, if I take those off, you can see they go away, right? Okay, so when I'm done with that, should stop recording, and then when I hit play on it, you can see I'm not doing anything right now. The tour is just playing. So this is what you get, right? The whole thing. It recorded every movement that I had made, and then if I save it, then I can name it whatever, and it will save in my places, and it just sort of functions from there. And that is how you make a tour inside Google Earth Pro. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you. Have a good one. In this video, I'm going to show you how to activate an outline around all of your bodies of water. So that could be rivers, streams, lakes, whatever. If you want to just know where those are a little bit better, all you got to do is in Google Earth Pro, just go over to the left-hand side to your Layers tab, and then you're going to go down to where it says More. Right? And under More, you're just going to want to expand that, and then you're going to want to click on Water Body Outlines. Okay, so we're going to give that a second to populate here. We're going to go look down at how that's working out for us. Okay, so you can see this coming through here. All the data is being outlined for all of our bodies of water. So this does help us get a clearer picture of where that actually ends. So if you're a developer or something like that, and you need to know specifically where the boundary stops, in some situations, coastlines and things, and the way that land is developed nearby bodies of water can get a little bit tricky, and sometimes things can move. So it's good to overlay the imagery with the actual boundary lines of record that exist for these bodies of water. And then there are some that you just maybe don't quite notice because they're running through some sort of forest or something like that, where it's a little bit harder to catch, right? But anyhow, that is how you activate the water body outlines layer inside of Google Earth Pro. Thanks for watching. Support my channel in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. What's up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you how to populate the location and some details of hiking trails that are in every trail. Every trail has a database of hiking locations, and we're going to look at this today. So if you go over to your Layers tab inside Google Earth Pro, it's on the left-hand side here, and you go down to where it says Gallery, right? And you click Open Gallery, you'll see a box for every trail, and you just click that. And as you can see, my map here right now starting to populate with some of these locations for hiking, and I'm going to go over here and just look at some of these trails and just sort of click on them, see what comes up. Yep, so this is the Mount Elbert Trail. It shows how long it is, some pictures from it. You can click on it. You can get in there and you can see more of the details from the trail right there. This is a cool way to plan out different treks that you might do, different hiking trails you might take on, just depending on where you're going to go. If you're like doing a road trip or something like that, it's pretty cool, and definitely something that's really useful in terms of just exploring the world. So I hope this was useful to you, and thanks for watching this tutorial. Have a good one. In this video, I'm going to show you how to enable the roads layer inside of Google Earth Pro, which will show all of the roads over this map. So if you're with me right here, if you go down in your Layers tab under the Photos tab, or right next to it actually, you click on this box right here. This is Roads, really simple. Then that will enable your roads. Okay, so if we zoom out and we go over to somewhere in Europe, right, the roads will populate over here as well. As you can see, they're kind of drawing themselves out. It's a lot to draw out because there are tons of roads everywhere, so you're going to have to give it a little bit of time when you're first loading it, or you're going to want to be zoomed in so that you can see specifically where you want to see. Now, you may be asking, why would I do this, right? You might find this useful in conjunction with some other layers like borders and counties, other things of that nature. It might help you in terms of what you're trying to build, okay? They could just show you, a good way to get somewhere, but for that I would probably use the directions inside Google Maps or any of the other maps tools that you have, because we have a lot these days. So anyhow, that is how to show all of the maps in the world inside of Google Earth Pro. Thank you for watching. Support my channel in the description, and I'll see you next time. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Earth Pro to actually view the moon. So what you're going to want to do is just go up to the top here, click on this little planets button. You can also see just planets, the sky, just other universes, telescope imagery here, Mars and the moon. You're just going to click on the moon there and give it just a second. And it'll load into the moon. So basically this is just compiled of satellite imagery, telescope imagery that we have of the moon, and you can view it as a whole planet. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure how we got the dark side, but I assume it was probably with one of our probes that we've sent out. We probably just shot pictures of it on the back end. I don't really even know if that's possible, but it has all of the different areas of the moon laid out for you, and it shows landing spots and all this stuff. Some of the imagery is rather good, so you can see a lot going on. Some of these craters are completely freaking massive. That's kind of insane. Anyhow, yeah, that's how you see the moon inside of Google Earth Pro. I hope this is helpful. It's a pretty cool educational tool for those of you who are teachers, or if you just want to explore or look around at things. So I hope this video helps you, and have a good one. In this video, I'm going to show you how to enable all of your country names inside of Google Earth Pro so that you can show where all of the countries are. Okay, so this is a good geography tool. Use it how you want to use it. Here's what you do. You go over to the Layers tab, which is on the left-hand side here, and then you're going to have under your layers, you're going to have something that says Borders and Layers right here, and then you're just going to pop open layers. Sorry, you're going to pop open Borders, right? And then you're just going to click on country names, right? And then that is going to populate all of your country names. Now, if you want to add the borders too, you just hit International Borders, and that will show you the borders of all of these countries, right? So there you have it. That's how you enable the country names overlay and the international borders overlay inside of Google Earth Pro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you a lot, and have a good one. In this video, we're going to show you how to find shipwrecks inside Google Earth Pro. So what you're going to want to do is go to Ocean in the Layers tab on the left side, and then just click on Shipwrecks. And what that's going to do is it's going to populate shipwrecks. They'll come up here. You'll be able to see all these different ones. When you click on them, it's going to give you details about why it sunk, or whatever details that they have. There's actually a surprising amount out here. It's actually pretty cool. So if you ever want to go and search for sunken treasure, then this would probably be a pretty good layer for you. You can see, get over here toward Bermuda. Yeah, that's a pretty cool layer. Just wanted to show you all that real quick. Thanks for watching. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to populate Wikipedia into your Google Earth Pro interface so that when you're looking at areas, you can actually see a link to some of the Wikipedia information to it, which is really cool when you're exploring areas. So if you go over to your Layers tab, you're just going to want to go down to where it says More. There's a little yellow sticky note there. And then you're just going to want to slide down to the Wikipedia button. And now you're going to click on that. It'll take just a second, but then it'll start to load everything up for you. And as you can see here, you're going to have these little Wikipedia icons come up for these different areas. I'm just in California, and I'm just going to click on this right here, and it's going to give me all the Wikipedia links right here. There's going to be some images if they have them. Same over here. Yep, really cool stuff. So definitely helpful whenever you are exploring places and you want to know more about them. Very cool. This is the Redwood National and State Parks. Very neat. So just a very cool educational tool, a neat way to use Google Earth Pro, and really helpful learning resource all around. So I hope this is helpful to you and that this tutorial was easy enough for you. Just go ahead and like this video if you liked it and it helped you out, and subscribe to my channel for more tutorial videos. Thank you for watching. In this video, I'm going to show you all how to select and show your counties, right? So all of your counties, or your second level admin regions as it's considered in Google Earth Pro. This is a really cool tool if you are trying to teach your class about counties, or you just want to know where something falls, like in terms of a building on your map or whatever. So we're just going to go down to this random area. I don't even know where we're at. And then you're going to go to your Layers tab here in Google, right? Google Earth Pro. And you're going to do the following path. You're going to go Borders and Labels. Click that open. You're going to go Borders and click that open. And then you're going to check second level admin regions, counties, and then you will begin to see all of the counties populate, right? So it'll take some time. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but you can see all of the counties populating and drawing out. Yeah, that's a really cool tool, and I just wanted to share that with you. That is how you can see counties inside of Google Earth Pro. Thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to show you how to see real-time clouds and storms inside of Google Earth Pro. So we have all of Google Earth up right now, and you're just going to go over here to the Weather tab under your layers, right? This should automatically load for you. And you're just going to want to click the box next to clouds. And then what this will do will allow you to see a real-time picture of what sort of cloud movement we have going on. Okay, and you can also go down here and you can click on storms. It's right here. Bam, storms. There's also a storm out here as well. And that's how you do that. Thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to show you how the sunlight feature works in Google Earth. So the sunlight feature, you can go ahead and just click the little sun button up here in the toolbar, and then what you can do is you're going to drag the slider to show when the sun is up at different times, right? So what we're going to want to do is pick our time zone, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and do Eastern Standard Time, North America, and then just do this, and then I'll go and I'll see. Alright, so Eastern Standard Time is roughly like right here in this whole area. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make it be, yeah, 8 a.m. They're getting sunrise all the way down to, yep, right now, 8 o'clock. Within these dates, right? So, you know, it usually gets dark about like 4 or so, right? So there you go. That's really how you do it. This is good if you want to see potential, if you want to try to estimate shade or just kind of know where the sun is at in a certain part of the world at your time, which is kind of cool. But anyhow, thanks for watching. What's going on, guys? We're going to talk about how to drop a point to save a place or location inside of Google Earth Pro. So what we're going to want to do is figure out where we want to drop our point. And we can do this by looking around on the map and finding a physical area that we want to drop a point on. Or we can search for a place. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Montana. And I'm just going to go to Montana. Okay. And it's zooming in right here. And up here in the top area, it's going to say add place mark, which is where we drop our point. So this box will come up for you to name your point, and I'm going to just name it a place in Montana, right? And then I'm going to, maybe I don't want to put it there, maybe I want to put it over by this lake. So I'm going to say, actually, a lake. And you can name this anything, this is just what I want to name it. So I've decided where I want my point to be. Right, I've placed it physically on the map. I could have also put in the latitude and longitude of that location. You can also put in some other coordinate options. We'll talk about those in a later video. This button right here will allow you to change the icon, which is a preset bunch of icons that are in Google Earth Pro. You can add custom icons though. So we will go ahead and use this arrow, just because that's the one I feel like I want to use. And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit using the scroll wheel. Okay. We can go over here and we can change the color for our label if we want. So we can change the text, and then also the scale. A couple of other cool things there. We can see our view information, which is basically just a lat long. And then tilting this over a little bit, we can change where this actually is relative to the ground, seafloor, etc., etc. So I believe if I do relative to ground and then I move this slightly, then it will actually raise it up in the air, so that is actually hovering over that lake. So this could be clearer for your specific point if you would like. One thing you can also do is you can add links. So I want to add a picture of Montana, which I happen to have a preset link to, and I added that link in there and I hit OK. So now when I click on this point right here, it will show me that link and give me an option to give directions to here or from here, and then it'll also show up in my places. And I can save that if I want. I can save that place. But that's the basics of setting a place mark, or what's commonly known as dropping a point inside of Google Earth Pro. Thanks for watching. Check out my links in the description, and see you in the next video.